At 23, Ruby Walvin was embracing life. The young British woman was a musician, busy playing gigs while also studying songwriting at a performing arts institute in Liverpool. Watch the video above. Ruby Walvin explains the symptoms that led to her cancer at 23. For more health and well-being related news and videos, check out Health and Wellbeing So. In February 2019, when she began suffering extreme fatigue, bone ache and a persistent rash, the student put the symptoms down to her busy lifestyle. She also looked particularly pale, but thought she was just run down. She'd been drinking more than usual and was going out on weekends. But as the symptoms continued to worsen, including appetite and weight loss, Ruby sought medical advice. As she waited for a doctor's appointment to come around, she collapsed on the way home from a friend's gig. Emergency doctors initially believed she was anemic, but a nurse pushed for blood tests after noticing Ruby was breathless. 4 days later, the young woman was shocked to be diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, an aggressive form of blood cell cancer. "I was terrified that this thing was going to kill me, and my whole life at that time was taken up by cancer," Ruby told Need to Know Online. "I felt scared, but also kept wondering if this was real. My whole life had changed overnight. There were very dark days as I felt quite helpless and like I was never going to get my life back." Ruby says she began to feel symptoms around February 2019, including being extremely pale. "But I hadn't noticed, as I was always quite pale," she said. "I had quite a few headaches when doing physical activity, and I also had a rash, which I now know was a leukemia rash. In emergency, they did all sorts of tests and I phoned my parents to fill them in, but after saying words such as low white blood cells and bone marrow biopsy, they put the pieces together." Ruby says as soon as she heard the word leukemia, her heart sank. "I knew it wasn't good. I could see my parents looking scared and concerned. That's when I knew it was real," she said. "I was moved to a female adult cancer ward. And they took me for a bone marrow biopsy, which I had, while I was awake. This was my first taste as a cancer patient." Over the next 2 years, Ruby underwent intensive chemotherapy before moving on to maintenance chemotherapy, which allowed her to return to uni. She says the ordeal affected her mental health. "I was quite depressed during my treatment, as I was fed up of being in pain, as well as ill and weak," Ruby said. "I wasn't in control of my life and I stopped doing the things I love to do, like songwriting and singing. I had also been taken away from my friends who were still at university, and it was a very isolating time." Her treatment also resulted in lots of infections, including one in her arm, which required surgery. "This was a massive step back in my recovery, as this meant a long hospital stay and many more appointments," she said. Despite the side effects of the treatment, Ruby went into remission after her first 3 cycles of chemotherapy and was declared cancer-free in May 2019. She continued to have chemotherapy for 2 years and, in July 2021, finally completed her treatment. "I felt amazing to be out of treatment, but also a little scary, and it is all I've known for 2.5 years of my life," she said. But not having to go to weekly hospital appointments meant Ruby could start to take back control of her life and have more fun. "I feel good and have a very busy lifestyle with university, working and gigging. I love it," she said. "I'm still not where I want to be fitness-wise, but that takes a while and my body is so much healthier, which I'm extremely grateful for. Mentally, I have struggled coming to terms with what happened and I struggle with survivor's guilt. But I'm now going into my 3rd year at university and everything feels even sweeter knowing where I was 2 years ago." For more engaging lifestyle content, visit 7life on Facebook. And finally, thank you all for watching the video. Please like and comment your opinion so we can discuss together. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell to follow and update many other interesting news. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.